Hello everyone. Let us start this MOOC Swayam course on nationalism and constitutional growth in India, 1850 to 8 to 1920. We have been talking about nationalism for a while uh, from various perspectives. Uh, the essentialist perspective, constructivist perspective, also to understand that what we mean by nationalism in positive sense, what we mean by nationalism in destructive sense. But what is positive also has certain kind of uh, exclusiveness. So we have been kind of dealing with these questions, uh, starting from even Hobbesian conception to uh, Rousseau's conception of that what Rousseau understood as a general will, or the Kantian understanding in terms of highest expression of free will, or Fichte's understanding, or Herder's understanding, or Edward Seal's understanding, or Clifford Geert's understanding of what is nation, but also understanding in terms of Ernest Renan, right? You know, who in fact takes the entire debate of nation to the level of eulogizing the ancient past, and not only the idea of shared common history, which is important, but also glorifying the past, which is important according to Renan, to have a nation and then the spirit of nationalism. And there are scholars who are saying that this is all a kind of manifestation due to the fact that the politics of the time demands people to unite against the mighty power who is suppressive, who is repressive, and and we need to unite together to fight back that kind of power. So for that unification, for that uniting people, we require certain symbols. We require certain kind of icons to just connect people. So that also in a way means that people do acknowledge shared history, people do acknowledge commonality, people do have certain kind of understanding of collectivity, whether that collectivity is vis-a-vis the other kind of collectivity, or it is just simple for their well-being, for their for their progress, for development, for growth. They are kind of sharing that bond, and they have a certain kind of understanding of oneness. So that kind of oneness does not mean that they are united against some entity, but they are united ultimately because all are benefiting. So that understanding is yet again important. So the very idea of banal nationalism in the last lecture, when we were trying to understand, which says that all sort of symbols in everyday life, this nationalism has become an everyday phenomena. Nationalism, in fact, is an ideology which keeps reminding your national identity. Nationalism has been taken for granted, by flags, sports, symbols, pamphlets, graffitis, and many more things where you see and you're reminded of that where you are, so and who you are, right? So in that sense, the idea of banal nationalism, and then going back to gender and nation, how that is equally important to understand, that how women figure into the debate on nationalism, uh, taking the example of, say, even Partha Chatterjee, who has in fact written at length on nationalism and woman question, or you all, Davis, who has written, gender and nation, a book in which she discusses about how women, by and large, are seen as biological producers, and and they are in fact segregated, and they are typified in such a way that they are uh, they are not part of the uh, national movement or national struggle per se, but they are kind of becoming assistant to the national movements. So they are not the leaders, rather they are uh, the uh, the part of the foot soldiers, or they're part of the subaltern class. So so this is like a very good recap of that what we have been discussing so far, and I keep doing this to to make you understand that how all these things are connected with the topic that which we are going to discuss today in this particular lecture on Gandhian idea of nationalism, how those reflections were the very idea of liquid modernity, which in a way is critical of the very modernity project, which Zygmunt Bauman gives that idea. So how Gandhi, in fact, is critical of this very Western, sense of pride and Western sense of uh, nationalism, and and also uh, the very production mechanism and the heavy machine and imperialist notion. And there's a whole lot of scholarship on nationalism and empire building, and I think I have reflected on that too. That how there's a gene of expansion within the uh, idea of nationalism. So it demands expansion. Nationalism demands expansion. It will not remain, uh, as an ideology to be content and satisfied with the with the status quo. Rather, it keeps growing. It feeds. It becomes humongous. It feeds the minds of the leaders, to be busy with certain kind of questions which are ultimately leading to uh, maximization of power, and also it's kind of a whole lot of competitive uh, kind of market and competitive growth and competitive kind of so it makes it competitive kind of ideology vis-a-vis the other players. So we will try to understand uh, Gandhi, particularly, that how Gandhi's entire journey, if one can analyze, and I have in fact deliberated in the previous lectures on arrival of Gandhi, and also brief biography of Gandhi. That Gandhi born into a very religious family, guided by certain kind of morals and principles of the religions, Jainism and Hinduism, where Gandhi is very much aware about that what is called aparigraha, non-possession, and from where comes a lot of ideas on non-violence and truth and satyagraha, and also civil disobedience. So in a way, Gandhi is a resistor. Gandhi is someone who enters into the national politics, by the sense of resistance on various kinds of policies, which are ultimately very exploitative in nature, and hence Gandhi is critical in his own way, but Gandhi is critical not to deploy certain kind of violent mechanism. Rather, Gandhi is silently critiquing, but also constructing. It's not like all Western ideas and all Western symbols and all Western kind of ideology may be just pushed away from the national politics, but it need to be implemented. It need to be taken into consideration, considering also that I mean, what kind of changes we are looking for, right? And whether those ideas and those instruments are having uh, I mean, having certain kind of meaning in the life of people or not, whether it is bettering the the life of people or not, or bettering the their or it is welfare oriented or not. Instead, if it is creating havoc, then that need to be checked. So what is important is means, rather than ends, and that there comes Gandhi's understanding of nation. So we'll see all these things in this discussion on Gandhian idea of nationalism. So his Gandhi is inspired, by various leaders, of his time, but also of the past. And one can find that Gandhi's appraisal of Raja Ram Mohan Roy, whose ideas of social reform, and also transforming the society is very important. And in that sense, if one can see Raja Ram Mohan Roy, who is known as the father of Indian Renaissance, I mean, that is not exaggeration, because uh, Roy Roy's writing and Roy's activity, in fact, gave impetus to the leaders of that era to engage into social reform and also politics. So after the, say, Indian National Congress's establishment in 1885, a lot of things started coming into the discussion, or in the political discourse, where the very question of nation and nationalism and kind of unification and unity, all these started becoming debatable kind of questions. So if we see, uh, just prior to even Gandhi's coming in the national scene, uh, early scholars and early figures who who were kind of the progeny of cultural nationalism in the 19th century were Dayanand Saraswati and Swami Vivekananda. Dayanand Saraswati's Satyarth Prakash and his Arya Samaj, and his ideas go back to Vedas, and it is said that Saraswati was for revivalism, because Saraswati saw that there is some kind of dilution because of the dharma sastras and because of the various kind of scriptures which are written in between. Veda in original form is Arya. Veda in original form is that what it talks about monotheism. It talks about you know a kind of philosophy which people need to kind of implement, and the very caste hierarchy has nothing to do with purity and pollution. Rather, it is based on a theory of karma, and all those things in a way boosted confidence among the Hindus of the time that whatever rupture and dilution in between Veda and that Dayanand Saraswati is talking about has become very very kind of problematic. So and bringing culture into defining the nation in a way is done by Dayanand Saraswati. And later on, if you see Swami Vivekananda's entire aura of delivering his speech in World Conference of Religion in Chicago, where in fact Swami Vivekananda uh, is a young man, becomes a symbol of civilizational identity of India, in terms of India, harbinger of tolerance and harmony, and India stands for Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and all sort of philosophy. So that what we see that both of the leaders are also reformers and scholars to because they are delivering speeches, they are following the path of uh, a kind of they called swamis. So in the sense that they are ascetics, but but they are also hinting on the very unique identity of India, and by emphasizing on India's rich heritage, and asking for need for reform and revival and the creation of a new identity. And then Gandhi enters, and Gandhi is entering in a way where Gandhi's entire posture of a kind of yogi, but of course not in a religious sense, but in a non-materialistic sense, the one who is now uh, going to talk about aparigraha, non-possession, and in that sense, Gandhi wants to teach people that what he is practicing. So in that way, Gandhi is trying to reconcile a lot of uh, intricacies and complex relationship within the Indian National Congress, and that is particularly relating to that what is known as the deadlock between moderates and extremists in 1907, which is called Surat Split. and Gandhi is arriving, and especially his activities started late in 1917 only through Kheda, Satyagraha, and through Champaran Satyagraha, and later on Kheda and Ahmedabad, happens, where Gandhi is Gandhi is using all these tactics of reconciliation, and bringing all the voices on one platform, where Gandhi is much influenced by whether it was Ram Mohan Roy or Saraswati or Vivekanand. And then Gandhi is reflecting particularly in his book Hind Swaraj, way before even Gandhi has entered into the national scene, almost 8 years before, in 1909, when Hind Swaraj was written. It is a kind of text where Gandhi is known as a philosopher. Gandhi, that what Bhikhu Parekh and many scholars have written as Gandhi philosopher, where Gandhi is reflecting on some of the very intricate issues of nation and nationalism in his text. And Gandhi gets established by the time as a scholar, as a man of reputation, and as a man of kind of words and principles. So you know Gandhi do see that India is a nation, but India did not become a nation only during British rule. Rather, the same narrative that what Swami Dayanand or Swami Vivekanand were kind of trying to analyze, that it's an ancient Indian civilization, uh, which is known for accommodating diversity, and also laid the basis for united consciousness. So in a way, Gandhi is not bringing anything new to say that India is not a nation, or India is a nation which started somewhere uh, in during this time or that time. Rather, just he is extending uh, the demarcation of India in terms of ancient Indian civilization, and hence the glorious past of India. But of course, the glorious past has something to do with the tolerance and harmony that what even Vivekananda in his speech, or Gandhi to some extent is bringing that, uh, unlike the uh, you know Swami Dayanand Saraswati. So what is that idea of nation? Gandhi emphasizes India's strength in unity amidst diversity, acknowledging multiple languages and religions, advocating for a common identity, linguistic diversity, and rejecting the notion that India's nationhood is a recent origin due to British colonialism. So it's not like the British colonial powers came and then only India got united, or people got united. It, the very idea of unity uh, of India as a nation was there in the past, and ultimately from north to south, Hindi to Tamil, Hindi to Malayalam. And what we see is that the very religious kind of homogeneity. Of course, some of the symbols and some of the interpretation might change, but overall, India as an entity, civilizational entity, can be very much found, in the past, and it's British colonialism has nothing to do with that, unity in diversity. So Gandhi rejected slogans of cultural homogeneity, because Gandhi is acknowledging that there are multiple languages and religions by the time when Gandhi is writing and reflecting. So it's and Gandhi is very much aware of what is happening during his time. I mean, when people are writing about civilization, when people are writing about Vande Mataram or Bharat Mata or many kind of things, uh, Gandhi is very much aware that some sort of communal seeds are already sown into the Indian politics by making it divisive kind of politics. So unity in diversity, in a way, is an ideology of uniting people and acknowledging differences, whether it is differences based on language or religion. And Gandhi is acknowledging that. So Gandhi rejects the slogan of cultural homogeneity or any kind of assimilation. Rather, Gandhi is emphasizing on unity amid religious and cultural diversity. And in Hindu Swaraj, Gandhi warned against Hindu communal propaganda and stressed unity for the nation's interests. And Gandhi's assessment of the Indian National Congress in Hind Swaraj, also reflects its role as the first institution instilling the idea of nationality despite flaws. So, Gandhi is critical of Indian National Congress, but Gandhi acknowledges the fact that it is the Indian National Congress which, in a way, is one platform where much of the national cause is taken forward. And Gandhi acknowledges Dadabhai Naoroji as father of the nation, and Gandhi praises Congress for advocating, idea of Swaraj or self-government or revenue control and giving a test of home rule. So in that sense, what Gandhi is doing, very consciously, is that Gandhi is not writing off or cancelling, uh, Indian National Congress. And so Gandhi's nationalism drew, from early Congress nationalists like Dadabhai Naoroji, forming the ideological bedrock for India's national building. And Gandhi's position as the as the front leader of the Indian national movement was sustained by aligning with the fervor of nationalism worldwide. So Gandhi Gandhi is not denouncing, rather, the very force of nationalism, and Gandhi is in fact very much with the idea of nationalism. So, in Gandhi's view on extremists and anarchists, again, is that what in contemporary times, of course, we call it Gandhi anarchist. Gandhi himself actually chooses to be called as anarchist, but Gandhi dismisses extremists and anarchists as retrograde. Uh, and in fact, Gandhi supports the programs, ideals, and methods of moderate elements in the Congress, because the the extremists and anarchists in the Congress were, deploying, using violence, means to achieve the end. And in fact, Gandhi is not very much ready for that. So Gandhi initially had faith in British system of justice, because ultimately that Britain, in its own country, stood for justice, and equal rights, and right to vote and other kind of things. And in fact, Gandhi trusted a British love of justice and fair play. But that Gandhi's, this faith started fading year by year. Uh, and particularly when Gandhi started civil disobedience and also marching for breaking the salt law, it was the dead end negotiation with the kind of British Raj or any kind of faith in British justice. So Gandhi used technique of satyagraha inspired by British suffragists, because in the Britain, those suffragette movements were very prominent. And Gandhi also utilized this satyagraha in South Africa, where he believed that honestness and sacrifice can compel the British to concede. So even in Hind Swaraj in 1909, Gandhi showcases uh, support for the Indian National Congress, crediting it for instilling the desire for home rule. Uh, Gandhi consistently defended Congress against critiques, emphasizing its role in inspiring nationalism. And then what is Gandhi's vision of nationalism then? So nationalism, according to Gandhi, means self-rule for the entire community, emphasizing soul force over brute force and making national interest the supreme ethical criterion of state action. Gandhi rejects the elite rule, criticizes the idea of government by the national elite, and highlighting the Indian prince's tyranny and rejecting violent methods, and stating that those rising to power through murder won't make the nation happy. So people are not going to be happy if you're making India free by using violence. Those people who are involved, they are going to use the same kind of method of violence against their own people, right? So that's kind of it's going to breed violence is going to breed violence, right? So uh, so what is then Gandhi's understanding of self rule, or Swaraj? So Gandhi says that Swaraj is both a mental and external condition, stressing inner liberation, freedom from hatred. And mind it, these all things are related with the very idea of nation. I mean, Gandhi in fact writes one essay. It's called "Is Hatred Necessary for Nationalism?" Question mark. Right? Is hatred necessary for nationalism? Gandhi is not in favor of the answer is, of course, no. Hatred is not essential for nationalism, but for nationalism, that what we have accounted history, documented history, that in fact hatred becomes the very root of nationalism, right? So, but Gandhi is offering different perspective, that there is another kind of nationalism possible, and that nationalism is that how one can liberate oneself, the inner liberation, freedom from hatred, active love for the masses, political independence, right, and dedication to improving the material conditions of the people, right? That can become the bedrock of the very idea of nationalism, or bedrock of the self-rule, right? The very motive, the very goal, the very agenda of uniting to self-rule would be not only external condition, but it should be also a mental condition, right? So where comes the idea of means and ends, right? And that means and ends ultimately is not possible if one do not understand the very ideology or the idea called satyagraha, right? So Gandhi emphasizes the link between Swaraj and Satyagraha. Gandhi advocates for the purest means, asserting that the loftiest goal of self-rule is achieved only with the purest method, right? So, Gandhi's idea, is about ideal village and legislative organization, right? Gandhi's ideal village is self-reliant, atmanirbhar, self-sufficient, and operates on a cooperative basis. And mind it, all these things becomes part of our constitution, especially in directive principles state policy, particularly that what we call it, Gandhian principles, right? And it's a contribution of Gandhi to even making our policy makers and constitution makers understand the very necessity of putting these things, or in fact, the very Constitutional Amendment Act of what is we call it Panchayati Raj institution. So that's like Gandhi's vision, right? And Gandhi envisions a legislative organization where villages elect representatives for further elections, culminating in a central legislature, right? So Gandhi again, will be trying to understand, Tagore, a little bit, and and we will be understanding, the Tagore's idea of nationalism. Of course, it will not be a dialogic, that what Gandhi is you know responding to Tagore, because Tagore delivered a speech way back, when Gandhi uh, was not very active in the national scene. But nevertheless, Gandhi is responding to Tagore's criticism, and Tagore especially criticizing, this boycott movement, and also that what Charkha can bring, into our society. The modern civilization is based on machine and technology and other things. So Gandhi is in fact responding by defending the spinning wheel as a symbol of sacrifice, and refuting charges of isolationism, and stating that Indian nationalism aims to benefit the world without being exclusive or aggressive. And that Gandhian nationalism is very different from the nationalism understood in original sense is exclusive or aggressive, which is nationalism is exclusive or aggressive, but Gandhi is trying to use uh, that nationalism by saying that the Western society, when uses nationalism, their main motive and purpose is exclusive and aggressive nationalism. Then what nation is individuals and social reform. Gandhi sees the nation is composed of individual human components, emphasizing Swaraj first in terms of individuals and then in terms of society. He highlights the three pillars of Swaraj, and this becomes a part of constructive program of Gandhi, starting from 1917, ending in 1948, almost say starting from 3 items, adding 18 items in the constructive program, and those ultimately 3 items were Hindu-Muslim unity, abolition of untouchability, and upliftment of villages, right? Or rather khadi, to some extent, right? So, Gandhi, particularly in he highlights that these are very, very important component which actually need to be reformed and which need to be taken into consideration. Now, there are six ideals of Indian nationalism. Number one is anti-imperialism. So, fundamental aim of Indian nationalism is to resist, imperialism, or any kind of imperialistic exploitation. It is against any kind of racial discrimination. Also, it promotes the idea of Asianism, ultimately collaboration and unity among Asian nations. It also promotes the idea of internationalism. Cooperation beyond borders and non-violence, which is ultimately central to Gandhi's tactics for change, and then democracy, which is integral to Indian nationalism, emphasizing the involvement of the entire community. So, Gandhi introduced constructive programs as a strategic device for ideological penetration and indirect politics. And these programs, like the All India Spinners Association, were integrated into the political platform to connect with the common national conscience. Now, if we analyze Gandhi's role in Indian nationalism, Gandhi's leadership epitomized the ideals of Indian nationalism, preventing significant communist influence between 17 and 47. Non-violence, democracy, and anti-imperialism, which remained core principles under Gandhi's guidance. Also, if we see the Marxist perspective, Marxists focusing on political aspects overlooked Gandhi's role as a social critique and his efforts to eliminate social inequalities, where Gandhi saw imperialistic exploitation and Western capitalist civilization as causes of societal disparities. And in fact, Gandhi echoes with Marxist explanation of a critique of capitalism to some extent. And Gandhi's vision is transcending even the bourgeois nationalism, the very rule of elite class. Nirmal Kumar Bose argues that Gandhi defies classification as a prophet of bourgeois, nationalism. So Gandhi is not standing for bourgeois nationalism. Gandhi's means aimed at empowering the masses, uh, ensuring they reject future exploitation. And for that, Gandhi is actually leading to spiritual freedom and moral transformation. So Gandhi, Vivekananda, and Aurobindo, all these figures, they agree on the nature of human struggle for self-realization. If you if you're not struggling, then you won't be able to acknowledge the very meaning of that what self-realization means. So political independence is incomplete without moral or spiritual transformation, rejecting slave mentality. So to conclude, Gandhi rejects the idea that India became a nation under British rule. Gandhi asserts India's nationhood based on an all India consciousness. Gandhi advocates for Indian languages, Hindustani as lingua franca, and emphasizes the mother tongue's cultural importance. Uh, Gandhi promotes religious pluralism, allowing freedom for each religion to profess and practice its truth. Gandhi dismisses extremists and terrorists as retrograde, supporting the moderate elements in the Congress for achieving Swaraj. So uh, we we have discussed about Gandhi's intervention, um, and we'll take up in the next lecture on Tagore. to understand more kind of critical nuances of nationalism. Thank you so much.